Guys, it's starting to heat up here in advance of the May UK general election. A bit of
Mm,
a hissy fit and fight at PMQs yesterday over the
yeah.
NHS. The Tories seem to be in a bit of a meltdown, and they're trying to do a dishonest leaking fight back. They're saying that the Labour Party is trying to weaponize
Mm.
the NHS. The NHS is in decay. Waiting times are worse than ever. They cannot handle the flu season, which is just starting. I mean, A&Es are just being absolutely decimated, and magician's misdirection is not working anymore for Cameron. He can't blame the NHS in Wales or the Labour Party in Wales anymore.
Yeah.
He refused to apologise yesterday for this health care winter crisis. What is going on?
Mm. Yeah, well, it's just it's a case of the whole austerity program kind of coming together to create these massive problems. I mean, as you said, there's A&E crisis that but the local authority cuts coming into place are causing a real problem here. I just read about this thing called bed blocking this morning. Have you heard about this? So because there are so many cuts in social care in the community, patients can't be released from hospital because that care is no longer there. So that means that beds are getting kind of blocked up, and there's been cancellations of operations in various places. And was it 14 or 15 hospitals have been sort of placed in crisis or defined as being in crisis because of the A&E situation. I mean, the thing yesterday at PMQs, that was a really dumb statement by Miliband talking about weaponising the NHS. It's a stupid strategy. Of course, Labour are going to use the NHS politically in the run-up to the general election. That's going to happen. The Tories would do it if they were in the same position. But you don't have to say it so explicitly. I mean, Miliband wouldn't make a good poker player. And I wonder how much he's paying these American Obama advisors, because that seemed a completely stupid thing to say.
I mean, the great irony is, I mean, I've written about this for the Institute of Welsh Affairs on tomorrow, on Friday, and the great irony is that the NHS, well, health services generally are a devolved issue in Britain. So the NHS in Wales is controlled by the Labour Party,
Mm.
and that's why you've seen the Daily Mail, which is the London UK newspaper, talk about and do articles on the NHS with the Labour control because it's happening in Wales. And the great irony is that we are going to see a lot more of the NHS being discussed when it's a devolved issue in Wales and Scotland and elsewhere, and yet it is such a hot button that the role of the NHS, that come the election, we're going to hear a lot more of this, and come the election in May, up to May the 7th, general election, we're going to hear endless amounts about how people are cared in Britain. Should it be the NHS, and should it be elsewhere? And
But
how the
but
NHS
none of
is
this fills the
controlled.
£30 billion gap
No.
between what's needed to take care of an aging population. I mean, the flu jab, they blew that this year. Apparently, not just here, but in the US, they guessed wrong,
Yeah,
which
tell me
does
about
happen
it.
sometimes.
I had one.
So people are getting the
I
flu.
got
I
flu.
mean, and that's just going to put more strain on the NHS, no matter where you are. So
Yeah,
I just
yeah.
don't know.
No, it comes down to money. I mean, it needs more money.
Yeah.
It needs probably billions more actually to care for people properly. I mean, the
Yeah,
flu jab is a classic example.
yeah, but I think also, there's these issues about the organisation of the economics of the NHS as a whole is still kind of something that is open for grabs. Because after all, Labour did start this kind of slippage towards outsourcing particular departments to the private sector, and in a sense, the start of that is what got the waiting times down to begin with. But now it seems to be going the other way because of the entire, austerity program that we're faced with. And as everyone knows, after the general election, there are a massive amount of cuts still proposed, and Labour are not saying they're going to. There's only a very small difference between the amount that the Tories and Labour say they're going to cut.